helpful
gaps so
because,
that,
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
put gaps so that then I can turn that into a PDF and then I can make more notes as we go along.
Perfect. It was something that I wasn't able to do while I was leading the discussion, so
Oh, good. There you go. Well, I'm happy to have been of help.
massively. Okay, so you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of things here where I could use your help. Like I started the tech specs. That includes costumes and props and everything like this.
Yeah.
And I would love your help looking through that and doing some thinking. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, given some of the inputs that you gave actually in the first read through, um, I would like you to do it from a range of the minimalist staging to the maximal. So where like
Yeah.
if we're gonna have only the bare minimum, then just put it down as required, right? And
Yeah.
then if it's like enhanced, it's all on the optional level. So you'll see things like that here, where here is the prop list, costume list, set list, required, and things like that. So we can map out the options here if we want
Yeah.
to do it this way. I don't know if you're a matrix person. I tend to be a matrix person. Other people
Yeah.
tend to
Quite like that.
be, yeah, okay, great. So that's one thing I could use your help on. And then I got the four. Okay, so then the other thing is the staging. And this is where I actually was thinking about mocking it up physically, but then since we're not often going to be physically together, and especially in the time of the staging, which I feel is like now, I have started mocking it up on Google Drawing. And this is where we have, so here I could say this is maybe the minimal one, right?
Hmm.
And then basically we have to do one for each movement. I think there should be maximum about five for the minimal, right? So there's the entrance, which is actually the one before this, where the curtain comes up and Anita's just sitting on the chair. Then, not the curtain, but the lights, whatever. Then number two, this would be number two, actually, because this is Josephine coming in, going down stage right, and then spinning around and seeing her. And then the number three image would be her going to here. And then what we would
Hmm.
have is three would be the base, because that goes for another 6, 7 minutes. And then we have the last blocking where people are getting up. So we'll just do one where there's arrows coming up from the chairs. So it shows that they stand up, right? And they're like looking at the resume and whatever. That's not going to be coded there. It's just going to be the movement is really just the standing. And then the number five would be Josephine running off. And I would
Yeah.
guess she runs off downstage center, off the stairs, through the audience and out the back, because I think that's
Yeah.
more interesting than just running off, but where she entered. What do you think?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think that sounds great. Really great, actually. Now, one of the things that I was thinking about this morning when I was doing my script thing. I mean, I know you'd have thought of this already, but like, I've watched quite a few performances now for Fringe where there's supposed to be like this, this concept, and it doesn't come across, and that's the risk, isn't it? Like, there's a risk factor, is that if the audience are, for example, watching this for the time, and then they just don't get that actually there's two wrong people, then actually we've lost the concept altogether, right? So I think, there is a lot there that the actors then have to do, a lot of groundwork. Obviously, they're the main thing, aren't they? They're the ones that are going to really set this and make it look like that. And then, so my input in this is like, what other things can we do that is not just those two talking or those two acting, that then actually gives them clues throughout? And even if we don't change it, even if we keep this at the minimum, so there's two ways, isn't there? We've got the two actors on stage now. One of them I was thinking could potentially, and there might be a reason why you've decided on this, but could maybe Anita not already be sat there? Actually, she also comes in ready for, and does some kind of body language. Is she standing up? Maybe she's prepping. And then, for the date, like you would, like, the entrance, like that you do before you go into a pub or you go into a bar, the things that you do when you know your date potentially could be there, and then comes and sits down. And then as Josephine walks in, she again does something with her body language, with the way she wants to prep, maybe with her outfit, something that you would do before an interview, which would be very different to what you would do to sort of prep yourself on an entrance if you were then not doing that. And then she then does, as you say, she's going around, she's doing her interviewing movements, which I haven't processed this fully yet. Then she then comes to sit at the table. Now
Mm.
it might
Yeah.
be a skill, but it's something maybe we could potentially consider
So this is more
as a
these are two different things, right? These are
they
body
are, yeah.
language and then they are staging and the blocking. So
That's
I
right. So the
think
staging, whether they both come on, whether we keep it as Anita sat
Mhm.
down, or whether we get Anita coming in as well as
I'm a
part of
little
this, or
I'm a
whether
little
that.
concerned about repetitive movement with entrances and exits.
Okay,
This is often an issue. Where people are always coming in from the same, and then it's another person coming in from the same, and since it's a limited set, it's boring. So I'm not against it, but what I would say is, and we have to mock it up where something like they are entering from two different places, and there are only two options on this stage. There's stage
yeah.
left or
Mm-hmm.
downstage stairs, right? So
Mm,
um, we can have, I mean, we could do something really fun well, Lisa will kill me because she had to do this last time. Like where we could have Anita come in first, but from center, downstage center, and being like talking to the audience and saying, are you Joe? Are you Joe? No, not Joe. Okay. Coming in, sitting down, and then like doing something a little bit with the lights and the music for like 5 seconds while she puts on her lipstick and then looks at her watch to show that time has passed and she's been sitting there for a while,
mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know? And then
yeah,
Josephine runs in from stage left.
yes. And I think we can play with that, can't we? So the thing is we're not going to really know what this is going to look like until we actually get them there doing their thing. But I feel like at this stage it's quite exciting, isn't it? Because we can go, let's see what that looks like. And if we don't like it, we can just go, do you know what, actually, nah, too much or whatever. I think it'd be quite fun to experiment with this entrance.
Absolutely. And I think also with the exit, like if we have Miss Feature and the other Joe on stage or not, that will also complicate that. So one of the things was that
Mhm.
last year I had a lot of lighting cues and I had a lot of
Yeah.
exits and entrances. It was very busy. We even had to end up
Mm,
mapping out pathways for people to walk across the stage so they wouldn't bump into each other because sometimes they were supposed to be chasing each other and not seeing each other. So there was this whole quality of it, and I do think I wanted to do something slightly different. Not
yeah.
I mean, I kind of went two people sitting at a table. That would be nice just as a change, right? Focus
Yeah.
on the physical, the voice, and not movement, right? Because movement keeps people entertained, but also distracts people from what is actually being said. So,
Yeah.
but that said, I don't think that's a problem with what you proposed because I think what we're really talking about is entrances and exits, which are times of transition
Yes.
anyway. And fundamentally, well, I mean, let's address what your fundamental issue is. You want people to be in on the joke, right? You want
Uh,
people to get it.
well, even if, yeah, I just want like because and now this is what I'm going to say about this as well. But if we decide to do where there's an extra table right in the background and the actors are there, and the other actors are there, then actually, then this, giving the clue more of a clue at the beginning that is not necessary. It won't be as necessary because the clue is look, there's these two people in the background. People will be like at that stage anyway. I think so.
Yeah,
Then
but
you just like,
those people are not
but
talking to
it
each other though, like the other Joe is talking to a third person, so that would actually be three people on st no, four people on stage,
yes, I see
like
what you're saying. Yeah,
because
yeah. Okay, I get what
you'd have to have the two interview people
you
and
two.
and then the Joe and Paulina. So I mean then you have four
Yeah,
people in the back. It's not a no. I'm sure we can find people.
no,
I'm sure
yeah,
even like I'm sure even David could be Miss Feature's new interviewee,
mm,
right? Because that's not gender
yeah,
specific, right? Because she had
hmm
to replace the candidate because the candidate never showed up. It's not a case of
yeah,
mistaken identity for Miss
yeah,
Feature. It's just that she went to a new person. Simon could not be, well, I mean, the other Joe could be bisexual, so she could be meeting a man
That's true.
instead and being like, yo, that's also cool, you know? So, I mean, we just have to change the line from Paulina to Paul then. I mean, that's fine. I
That's
think
it. Yeah.
I think there are some things we'd have to think about there.
Yeah. I mean, what we
Um,
don't want is it to be like super cluttered and like too much going on and distracted from the characters. And I get that instinctively. I get that. It's just as I say, as long as we're doing enough to it not be one of those ones you look at and you go, actually, I totally didn't get what was happening there at all. And then it's kind of funny at the end, but if there's any chance that they missed that last little bit, then it's kind of been like that's the only worry, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing then. Let's think about this in terms of layers, right? Like the minimal layer is basically let's just rely on the actor's ability to convey
Hmm.
miscommunication. And this is why I really wanted to talk a little bit more about
Yes.
the themes,
Yeah.
right? But we didn't get to it.
Yeah.
Body
Yeah.
language, vocal inflection, pausing in the
Yeah.
right place, letting the line land so that people are starting to clue in on it, right? On the fact that there's
Yeah.
two things. I think costume
Yes.
will be really important. I was thinking about this morning
Yeah.
about Anita wearing like a little red
Yeah.
like dress, not but with a suit jacket over it. Something that's
Yeah.
really sexy, but also could be mistaken for just an employer with flair. So a suit jacket,
Hmm.
and also could lean into the fact that she's a little bit nervous. It's her first date for a while. And so she wouldn't want to be like in a total sexy dress, right? Because that,
Yeah. Mhm.
maybe that would be too much. Maybe she's a bit shy. And then I was thinking with Josephine, extremely businesslike.
Yeah.
Like so much so that there's almost no sexuality oozing off at her. Like really Anita is projecting onto her the sexy part
Yes,
in a
that's
way,
right.
right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
I think the costumes can do a lot. It also think
Yes.
about hairstyle. Like
Yeah.
and the makeup and stuff like that. Honey has naturally good coloring. So
Yeah.
we might not need to do any makeup on her. I would like to see what she looks like
Hmm.
without eye makeup because
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing where
Yeah.
we might want to outline her eyes. But other than that, I would say no color at all on her face, no lipstick.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah.
very
And like
natural.
generally as well for an interview, you would probably like to have your hair tied back or again like a more of a like a
Yeah.
relax, a sort of a professional looking hair.
So personally, I think it's going to be obvious to the audience that what
Okay.
Josephine is there for,
Okay.
especially
And
because of
then
the
the
dialogue.
uniform. Okay.
But hold on. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be
Yeah.
obvious what Josephine is there for. I'm not sure it's going to be
Okay.
obvious what Anita's there for until later.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah. And then it's to decide, well, is that a problem? Maybe that's not a problem. Maybe that's what the audience then will then be pondering. Um, and that is kind of what we want. We don't want to. There needs to be a balance here, doesn't there? We don't want to be giving it away from the start and then not having them think, and then they're just like watching this thing. I get that as well. So yeah, definitely a fine balance between
Okay, so
yeah
costumes
that.
can do some
But
heavy lifting. I like the
yeah.
note on. I definitely think that maybe having Anita put on lipstick at the beginning is a really good one. Can you write
Yeah.
that one down?
Hmm. Yeah.
That is clearly something that's more on the date spectrum, although not
Yeah.
always. Um,
Yeah.
and that, okay, so and Honey did mention in the beginning she wanted to like fix her suit before she ran over to the table. Let's just make that a very conscious decision and a
Yeah.
conscious note. I
Yeah.
liked the idea of the two different entrances in the beginning. So let's write that down. I know it's a little bit messy for Lisa, but let's do that. Entrance from stairs asking, "Hey, are you Joe? Are you Joe?" The audience
Yeah.
is going to be confused. And she can only ask women as well. This is a note that she has to say. She can only ask female audience members, "Are you Joe?" And then she comes up and she looks around, and then maybe we have somebody like she can like look off stage and point to the table and say, "Can I sit here?" Like there's a waiter off stage,
Hmm.
and then she
Yeah.
sits down, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that will create a little bit, and then, really nervous and look, pick up a phone, look at herself in the mirror like this. Okay, look, that's pretty. And then,
Yeah.
and then I'm not sure I want to go messy with the tech and sound cues because I'm just a little bit over
Yeah.
that from
Yeah.
last year. But she can look at her
Yeah.
watch.
Yes, you can.
Um,
I think there's enough they could do.
enough you can do that it could be clearly that she's on a date. And then
Yeah.
Honey enters from the same space. Josephine still enters from stage left center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll add one. I do want Josephine, however, you can see on this that she enters from behind Anita. So Anita's back is to her when Josephine enters. You see that, right?
Wait a minute. I can't see that. What do
Can
you
you
mean?
see the
Sorry.
screen here?
I can, yeah.
Okay, you see, so the
Oh,
heart is
yes.
Anita.
Yeah.
Josephine's
Yeah.
entering, she's the money, so that Anita doesn't see her enter. So what I
So is
don't,
Anita then looking to the side? Is she looking like
yeah,
instead of like
she's
not
looking the
looking?
other direction towards the other chair here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So she's
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
away from the main stage
Yeah.
left entrance, and that's because I want basically Josephine to go down here, look around to see who else is there, and say, well, this is the only table with only one person. This
Yeah.
must be the person I'm supposed to meet. And she's about the right age, right? And then of course Anita can look up and she looks back and say, oh, this must be the woman. She looks late and etc. So they make eye
Quick question.
contact right
Sorry,
here.
yeah.
At the end of the arrow
Yeah.
is where they make eye contact.
Yes. I get that. So in the what because I don't think we might have covered this last Tuesday, but I didn't hear it. What venue is this? Like, one where they would
Oh,
potentially be having an interview.
that was originally written as a coffee place.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have been in
I mean,
interviews which happened at coffee places. I haven't
yeah.
really been at a lot that were at restaurants and certainly not in the evening.
Yeah.
And I think
Hmm.
also with Anita as a character, it makes sense that for a first blind date after being off the market for a while, she would want a neutral area, like none that's not already super romantic, like a dinner date, right? So she would want
Yes.
like a coffee date.
Can I just ask, with the whole and I kept meaning to ask it last on Tuesday as well, we just got distracted. So we say that Anita hasn't had a date for ages, for a while. This is her first date in a long time. Now at the end she then says, that she's been on a lot of dates. Does that does that mean that she's been on a lot of dates in her life? Is that what we're trying to do with that? Because I just
No,
wonder.
she hasn't been actually. It's a complete misunderstanding. Josephine says, you must have been here a lot and done a lot of these. And he's like, no, what are you talking about? Because Josephine's saying you must have been doing a lot of interviews today. You just must have had a long day.
Yeah,
But Anita has not. She just
no.
got there. Well, she didn't just get there, but she's only had one date today. She might have been on a couple of dates since she split up with her ex, but I mean, not really. Like she hasn't. She has, and that's
So
why
the
she
line
gets
that I've got
so upset. She gets so upset for two reasons. One, it sounds like she's a loser, that she's like been on all these dates and she's not getting anything, right? And the other thing is that she actually hasn't been on many dates, so she feels very much at a lower, like out of, how do you say it? At a disadvantage.
So the two lines I'm talking about though is one where Joe says, "Oh, oh yeah, sure, I haven't done too many of these," and then Anita goes, "Oh, that's nice. I've done a lot."
Oh, she has? Okay, let me see where I wrote that.
So it's just
Which
I
which
just wondered
page is
whether
that?
like
Now there's no
well
space
I've
here.
put
It's
loads of
fun.
spaces, so it's right towards the end. So it's after how long do these usually go? So they started ordering food. Um,
Okay. I did write that in there. So what was I thinking then?
it might have been that she's done a lot of dates in her lifetime because she's of a certain age. And again, that's the other way to do that. But what I'm trying to say is that
Hmm.
if we're going full on, I'm new to this, then we're going to have to do something with that line or the way that I need to say that line to make it look. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, we've got like a bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, let's think about it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Hmm. I can't hear you. You got
What
muffled.
is
What
it?
happened?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Where am I? There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
So
We could
we
delete it,
either
but
take it out and say,
yeah.
me too. I haven't done a lot of these, so, to go along with that completely. Or she's sounding exasperated because she's of a certain age and she's done loads of these in her life. Or we change the first bit that is, this isn't her first date. And actually she's had loads of them and these are doing her edit.
Well, I think in terms of definitely the vibe that Lisa seemed to want to bring to the performance,
Mm,
as she kept writing her notes, right? She was like
I did, yeah.
she's been very much conveying this idea that she's been out of the market for a while. Um,
Agree.
so I would say let's go with that interpretation where it's in terms of her life, but not recently.
Okay.
But then let's parse it then. So okay, I have done a lot, Maybe but what is she really sad about? Because Anita's line here is sad, right?
Yeah.
So what is she really sad about? That she hasn't found another partner yet, or that she had a relationship and it ended, and now she has to go back to this whole stupid thing of looking for a partner again, and she had thought she was
Mm,
settled, right? Like she was like, finally done, have my person, and now I have to start all over again
yeah.
because whatever happened, right? And
Yeah.
then Josephine gives sympathy, and then why does Anita get angry then? Because sympathy would be nice.
So let's look at that again. So oh, that's nice. I've done a lot.
What did
I
we
can
say
imagine. But
for
I mean, the
Josephine's
I can
line?
imagine implies that. Oh yeah, that's it.
What did we write down
I
for
can
the way
imagine.
that Josephine said that, what was the note for I can imagine? Patronizing, empathetic. It was
Assume
patronizing. It was empathetic, but possibly
emphasis.
patronizing, right?
Yeah, she said, assume done lots of interviews. Assume that she said it means that I've done lots of interviews, and then empathize.
Okay. And then Anita gets angry because she takes it as patronizing. Right. There were,
Yes.
there were two flip patronizing things we talked about on the Wednesday
So
call.
I think Anita is like, because it makes it sound like she's somebody who just goes on lots of dates. I think that's that. Is that not this bit where she's getting upset? The patronizing was there was another bit for patronizing, wasn't there? I haven't got patronizing as a note down for this one, but I do
We said
have
it, we
somewhere.
said it, we said it twice. But one time
Okay, so
Anita
that note.
perceives patronization, and the other time Josephine does because of age. So there's this
Yeah.
I forget where they are though. Okay, hold on, let's think about this.
So earlier on.
Yeah, yeah, I think
So
definitely we're towards the end here. So I mean, I can
this is,
imagine.
yeah. So
What's that
I,
supposed to mean?
yeah, because like that to me, that the way I've interpreted that is that it would be, I can imagine is in, oh, do you think I'm some kind of tart that goes on loads of dates? Do you know what I mean? That rather than, or it could
I
mean
was thinking like you're a
no,
loser. Like you go on so many dates that
mm,
you can't actually
yeah,
find anybody.
you can't get one.
That's the
Okay.
way I wrote it. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean now that it's like
Yeah.
open, right, to the interpretation, we can change it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So there's this,
Yeah.
I have done a lot. I can imagine. What's that supposed to mean? That's how Lisa said it. She said, "What's
That's
that?"
right.
She does that a lot. She does this emphasis on the second
Yeah.
when she gets cranky on the second word. Um, so what is she really thinking?
Because then the next slide is, well, I suppose you've been here all day. So again, it sounds like she's just been on loads of dates during that day. Otherwise,
Yeah,
why would Josephine be saying that? So, I suppose you've
But
been
Anita
here.
doesn't know she's going to say that. So what
No,
could be
that's right.
happening is she could be keep getting like, what the fuck is that insult? Now there's a totally random other and like first you're like tell like if we go with yours, like first you're telling me I'm a loser because I haven't found a partner next. And now you're saying
Yeah.
I've booked all of my dates on the same day and like I'm just like a tart.
uh,
So we're going from
Yeah.
loser to tart in like 2 seconds, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Which I think is quite funny.
I think let's do that then. So
Yeah.
let's put down the notes here that Anita is understanding two different insults here. That's the key. Um,
Yeah.
so she, so when she says I have done a lot, she's talking about her life history and that she has to start fucking over now that she's separated. But then the next two
Yeah.
lines, first she's saying, what am I? Are you insulting me? Am I a loser? And the second thing is, now you're calling me a tart. These are clear
Yeah.
lines. Okay, I like this. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's super.
Yeah. Uh,
And that's a nice build because it goes
yeah, I think so. Because
from,
that will get you angrier and
yes,
angrier,
and then you
wouldn't it?
get to
More.
the lateral move, which is like boom, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that's like the drop, isn't it? Like the oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I like that. Right, okay, good.
Sad, I have to start over. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
and
I'm a
then this
loser. Oh my God, I'm a tart.
but-
What? I'm
yeah.
a lateral move. Okay, I like that bit.
Yes, yeah, that's so good. Right, okay, that's nice. I've done a lot. And then that's sad because of not being where she wants to be. Right, okay. Okay, good. Yeah. And then, yeah, so again, that's the rise, the crescendo, really, isn't it? It's like,
Yes.
boom. Oh,
And then one note I forgot to tell Lisa on the Anita, you don't seem very interested in me at all. I want her hands both slapping on the table. You
yeah.
don't seem very interested in me at all. You haven't
Yeah.
asked, and no pointing. No, pointing is stupid. Just slap. You don't seem very interested in me at all. You haven't asked me a single personal question at night without all night. All night. Ooh, it's not a nighttime. Well, all evening. No, I don't want it to be night. Um,
No.
change that line.
Oh,
The whole time.
the whole time. Personal question. I'm just going to put that in red that I've changed that. So, you haven't asked me a single question this whole time.
Yeah, good.
This whole time without prompting. Do you need that without? Oh, yeah, you haven't asked me a single. Yeah, that's fair. So you haven't asked me a single question this whole time without prompting.
Personal.
Yeah.
You need the word personal there because she
So
has
this
asked
whole,
her questions. And
yes,
in
that's right. You
fact,
haven't
and
asked me
she,
a single personal question this whole time
yeah,
without
and
prompting.
actually, technically, Josephine has asked her a personal question once at the very beginning,
Yeah.
but awkwardly. So it's all like, yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, that's Joe panicky. Joe is panicky and he's just furious. Wasn't very odd. Okay, cool. Oh, this is so fun, Antonia.
I'm so glad you liked it. So I'm going to pause the
Yeah.
recording for a sec because I have a question to ask you, a private one. Hold on.
Okay.
Thanks for that. Okay, my screen is still shared. That's amazing. So I think we've done that. So maybe, yeah, I guess the to-do things, since we've sorted this out, can you create um 6 of these stage blockings?
Ah,
Uh,
yeah.
one pre with now the new entrance of Anita. This would be labeled 2 then. I'll just label it now 2.
Yeah,
Actually
right.
do 6 because have an ending one with Miss Feature on stage just in case, right?
Okay, wait a minute. Right, okay, wait, Anthony. Just let me get it open. Sweet, this is start. I'm feeling good about what we're doing. Right, okay. So this is one we've got here. So that's going to be two, and then so we're going to create the
This is
six.
2
So can we
actually.
just
This would be 2 because
two?
see, Anita's
That's
already
right.
sitting,
That-
yeah.
that-
So we have to create
Right,
another
okay.
one. How do you do this? I've never used fucking Google Drop. Here we
It's
go.
all right. Yeah, I'm gonna say like I can probably just. What is this? What is this called? Google.
Google
What
Drawing.
app is
It's
that?
embedded into the drive, so you don't need you don't need software on your computer. So here, look, I just copied it and done state and labeled it 1. And then what I'll do
Yeah.
is I'll take these off and I'll move
Ah,
Anita
yeah.
off stage, coming up on the
Yeah.
stairs, change
Yeah.
the arrow and there. See, number 2 is done. So I think
Right.
we just need like
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5 with them. Then the next one would be just them both sitting. Number 3 would just be both sitting. Actually, let's just do it together. So I'm here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like let's do it because that is these are the kind of things that my memory just I was just writing it down. Right, okay, so that's first one done, second one, right,
It's
okay.
already done, so now
Second
we
one
get
is it is. And so is
the
the second one is the dollar, third one is the dollar on the turkey. Yeah, okay.
S. So then
You're
we
doing that.
take dollar and we paste it over here on 3,
Yeah,
and we put her on the seat, heart on the
yeah,
seat, no
yeah.
arrow. Okay, now make a copy. We do 4. See, we can just do this together. I don't know why I was assigning a task.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
here we have the stand-up movement. So where is that arrow? Actually, do I want to do arrow or do I want to do, yeah, it's fine. Don't overthink it, Antonia. Stand
Yeah.
up and then
Mhm.
actually there'll be, yeah, so those 6 total because this one is Miss Feature comes on. Ooh, got a little bit of a headache.
Cool.
There's
How are you
stand.
feeling now, by the way? How are you feeling now? Are you okay after
I mean,
you ready?
so yeah, I mean, this morning and yesterday, I actually did not wake up coughing and wheezing. I'm still coughing and
Good.
wheezing, but not when on wake up, which means that I'm sleeping well, which is good. But it was, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm almost done being healed. Now, how about you? Let's say double dollar is Miss Feature, okay?
Yeah.
Because she's also the money chick. And then we have double dollar. And she enters from, I would say she should be sitting. I mean, we don't have to think about this too hard, but I was thinking
Yeah.
she should be sitting in the front row and then she should just stand up. That would be really fucking funny.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
But
Uh,
whatever, we'll figure it out. And then
we will, yeah.
the last one would be uh I feel like we should be able to do this in the same thing, but I haven't figured out this app yet, so who knows? I'm just probably doing much stupid work. So arrow's gone here in the last one, and then I still like the idea of Josephine exiting stage center. I love using the center stage stairs.
Yeah,
It's a little bit weird because she entered stage left, but whatever. That's it.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the minimal, the
Yes, that's
six
the minimal,
things
yeah.
of the minimal. And I mean, if we don't want to put the other Joe on stage, so she's not there yet. But if you do want to
Yeah.
put the other Joe on, I mean, that's up to you about really how you feel comfortable. I feel that we should have kind of some parity. Like if Miss Feature's on stage, then other Joe should be on stage. And then on the stage left, you know?
Yeah. Let's just see. I reckon with that one, we can wait until we've got the actors together, can't we? And then we can be like, realistically, what is this going to look like? What's it going to need? And I think, there'll be, so we see each other in person on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a good day for ironing out or giving us some more info for these little decisions, don't you?
I think this is our starting point, and then what we can do
Yes,
is
for
we
sure.
can, that's why it's the minimal one. This is what we basically
That's
need to
fine.
get the play doing,
Yeah,
right? And then,
yeah,
but keep looking at this and see if there's something that sparks as we start having the in-person performance, we can do a maximal version as well, right? Like the
yes,
lots of light skew. But what I do need you to do though is to take a look at the tech specs then. So right
yeah,
after you finish up your notes, right? Because the note taking that you did is much more important. But here
yeah.
is it's in the same folder that you have access to. And if you want to start thinking about that, that'd be great. I feel like I'm missing something. I have no sound cues, which I think is dumb. And I have the most basic lighting specs ever, which I also think if we're
What
worried
was the
about the
agreed?
piece,
Do we
yeah,
know what was agreed with lighting in the end?
we have
In
one
terms,
tech rehearsal, which means we need to be very minimal. So we can't go crazy like I did last year because I had 20 lighting cues and 3 sound cues.
What I mean is, we have to obviously buy in the lighting. So I don't know whether the lighting, did we get it, was it approved that we would have lighting and we'd actually get it in, or were we going no lighting this year? I can't, and it was a debate at one point, I remember in the
Oh,
committee. So I don't know what the final decision with that was.
as far as I know, we have lighting, but maybe I'm wrong. I wasn't
We
perhaps.
can ask Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think maybe we did. I think they decided that actually the lighting was good. It was a whole debate. Did the lighting? It was a whole debate. Did the lighting add anything? Did it not? Da, da, da,
It
da, da.
did
I
to
just
my
remember.
play. Are you kidding? It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Petch was
yeah, that's it.
amazing.
That's it. So I know there was a debate about it. I just don't know what the final decision was 'cause I can't remember. So we'll ask Anna that. She'll know.
Okay.
I don't want
All
to
right.
lose out.
Anything else do you think we should talk about, or are we good?
I think we're good for now, sweetie. So Tuesday we've got virtual again, haven't we?
Yeah.